I'm Stephanie, and welcome to this edition of The Pipeline, where we're refining the news that is important to you. The latest production data shows how fracking has crushed the myths of peak oil and petroleum as an energy source of the past. Texas produced an average of 2.45 million barrels a day of crude oil in April, according to the Energy Information Administration. That is the highest average daily output for Texas in any month since April of 1985, which was 28 years ago. In only 2.5 years, Texas has doubled its crude output and reversed the 23-year decline that fueled speculation that the maximum rate of petroleum extraction has been or will soon be reached. As of February, the most recent month of which international oil production data is available, Texas would be the 12th largest oil producer in the world if it were a separate country, only slightly behind Kuwait and Venezuela. And at the current pace of output gains, Texas production will likely surpass 3 million barrels of oil per day by the year's end, pulling it ahead of Venezuela, Kuwait, Mexico, and Iraq to become the equivalent of the 9th largest oil production nation in the world. The Eagle Ford Shale Formation is still brimming with crude. The Texas Railroad Commission reported that its production in March rose 77% from a year earlier. Now over to Jeff to talk just about how much water is used in hydraulic fracking.
University of Texas professor Rusty Todd has been working on an analysis comparing water used in fracking to other human activities, such as watering lawns and power generation. And his findings are quite interesting. An average multi-stage frac job with today's technology uses somewhere between 2 and 5 million gallons of water in Tarrant County, Texas. Fracking consumed 2.8 billion gallons in 2011, and that was only about 10% of the water used in all of Texas for hydraulic fracturing. That's an impressive and disturbing statistic, until you compare it with the amount of water Texans use for their lawns. Residents in Fort Worth use an average of 6.8 billion gallons a year outside their residences from 2004 through 2011, according to the Texas Water Development Board, with 80 to 90% going to watering thirsty lawns. Mr. Todd goes on to point out that statewide in 2011, Texans consumed 19 times more water in keeping their grass green than the industry used in frac jobs. Now, I like to water my tiny lawn as much as the next guy, but Mr. Todd makes a good point, so let's consider the payoffs. The water and chemicals used in fracking, injected into deep wells at high pressure, blast apart shale to produce domestic gas and oil. Fracking is credited with last year's remarkable 14% increase in U.S. oil production to 8.9 million barrels per day. The jump in natural gas production was even more amazing, from 5 billion cubic feet a day in 2008 to 28 billion cubic feet a day in 2012. That equates to more U.S. jobs and brings the U.S. one step closer to energy independence. Creating more jobs or winning the Yard Award? Stephanie, what do you think?
Well, I would like to think I would do both, so I'm going to go with artificial turf. Problem solved. As of July 8th, benchmark crude for August delivery went for $103.13 a barrel on the New York Mercantile Exchange. A large decline in U.S. supplies or signs that OPEC decreased output last month could boost prices, analysts say. Additional insight to Fed's thinking on monetary policy should also influence trading. This week, the U.S. average price for a gallon of gasoline was unchanged at $3.47. Wholesale gasoline dropped 1 cent to $2.88 per gallon. Natural gas rose 12 cents to $3.74 per 1,000 cubic feet, and heating oil fell 1 cent to $2.98 per gallon.
Did you know Reef partners with major operators in the Bakken Three Forks to utilize the latest in drilling technology? Many of the wells drilled in the Bakken Three Forks utilize horizontal drilling technology, which could have the following benefits: reduced drilling costs, reduced dry hole risks, increased oil production to potentially produce more oil than a conventional well, make accessible oil and gas reserves that were once considered out of reach, reduce the surface footprint by drilling one horizontal well instead of 4 conventional wells, increase lateral fracture stages, which may increase reserves, and extend the life of the well. And that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, and remember, we're drilling only for the relevant news and bringing it to you through the pipeline.